Hello readers, welcome to the Book Chronicles. I'm Melanie.
I'm Shannon.
And we're going to do a bookish vlog and coloring vlog today. We're probably going to do a little coloring and just have a little fun. So let's get with it. Booyah! Hey everyone, welcome to the Book Chronicles. I'm Melanie.
I'm Shannon.
And today we are going to do a video for mental health suggestions. Sorry we have been off of YouTube for a hot minute. We've been dealing with the death in the family. Shannon's mother passed away a couple weeks ago on the 22nd. So it's been a rough go at our house. Anyway, I have my Rebel Without a Cause jacket on. So we have some books that we thought might be good suggestions for the month. The first book was suggested by Emma Books, and it is called What I Lost. It is about a 16-year-old girl named Elizabeth, and she enters an inpatient treatment facility for anorexia nervosa. She doesn't feel she's sick, an inpatient treatment facility. So after she's in the hospital, she continues the behavior. Her mom also is weight conscious, so this adds or feeds to Elizabeth's behavior. While she's at the treatment center, she receives an anonymous package. Plot revolves around Elizabeth coming to terms with her anorexia and her recovery. All of these books have trigger warnings. This one has trigger warnings for anorexia nervosa. So when you are reading these mental health suggestions, please read responsibly and know that there could be trigger warnings for the subject indicated in the books. Also, we have Adam Silvera's More Happy Than Not.
A lot of his books deal with grief and loss.
And this one is supposed to be dealing with
16-year-old Aaron Soto is struggling to find happiness after a family tragedy leaves him reeling. He's slowly remembering what happiness might feel like this summer with the support of his girlfriend Genevieve, but it's his new best friend Thomas who really gets Aaron to open up about his past and confront his future. As Thomas and Aaron get closer, Aaron discovers things about himself that threaten to shatter his newfound contentment.
so this is suggested read for mental health because of the grief aspect, and I've heard that there is some OCD implications in this book as well. Then we have 13 Reasons Why. This was also made into a movie. Of course, there is trigger warnings for suicide. It follows a young girl who leaves a tape behind after committing suicide, and she leaves it to travel to 13 different people, and she explains the reasons why she committed suicide on the tapes.
Specific to that person that the
To
tape
each
goes.
individual that the tape, and it has all kinds of plot twists. And Jay Asher also wrote What Light, which was a good holiday read that I enjoyed. But this is definitely trigger warning for suicide. I watched the Netflix movie and it tore me up. So be very careful. I mean, I do deal with anxiety and depression, and there's a lot of mental health aspects really got me as far as the suicide situation there. So please, if you're going to pick this book up, it is a good book, but if you have suicidal ideations, just be cautious in reading this book. And we have Elijah and Her Monsters. And I think Shannon has read this book.
No, I haven't picked this one up yet, but it's about a girl with anxiety. She kind of lives two different lives, but online she has a webcomic. So she's kind of really popular and famous online, but completely different in real life. And I think she meets up with Fan, and then he pretty much finds she's not all, she's completely different. And I think it deals with her struggle with anxiety. But, I mean, that's all I really know about this book. But I've heard it's really good. It's got a lot of good graphics in the book.
Some good graphic depictions. Yeah, I heard it was something about fandom. Dealing with their mental health aspect. Wow, that's really, really awesome. Is it deal with anxiety and depression? So
Anxiety.
So this is a trigger for mental health issues regarding anxiety. So I am excited to pick this book up because I've heard I'm also excited about What I've Lost. Emma Books suggested that read. She said if you want to learn, because it is an Own Voices novel about anorexia nervosa. I don't struggle with anorexia nervosa myself, but I do know friends and family that do know individuals. Everybody knows somebody that may be struggling with some sort of issue in that sense. So it's a really good suggested read for me because I would like to learn more from an Own Voices standpoint. Emma also said she didn't like the cover of the book because anytime you're dealing with the subject of weight loss and you have a plate, a fork, food, a scale, or a measuring tape, then that isn't suggested for a book like this. She said it was kind of, in a way, it can be kind of offensive. So, and this is someone who has herself struggled with anorexia nervosa and has been honest and open about her struggles with her mental health aspect regarding anorexia nervosa. So, the final book that I'm going to talk about is our Butterfly Book Club Book of the Month, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I don't know anything about this book, but it is about, from my understanding, it's about a billionaire. And the lead character struggles with OCD. John Green also struggles with OCD, and you can kind of hear John Green speaking in Own Voices in this book, especially if you watch his YouTube videos. I've heard that he personally struggles with OCD, so this is an own voice narrative in regards to OCD. So, her
and her friend try to find out what's happened to this billionaire, and I've read the book, by the way, and it also depicts her struggle with OCD.
So, but it's more of an OCD. If you're going to find it for OCD, read
Kind
rather
of with
than
the mystery element.
I heard that the mystery element is subpar. Is what I've heard. But if you go into the book wanting to learn about OCD and how it affects individuals, then it's a good read, and it is a good book from what I have been told. Although there are people that don't like the fact that there was the mystery element thrown in. So I'm going to read this book for our book club. Book of the month for our Butterfly Book Club and see how I feel about the book. Hey, I'm sorry we're not our chipper selves tonight. It's been a long couple of weeks, haven't it? And I know the video that we had before, it showed Shannon coloring, and that was kind of her go-to thing, coloring at Starbucks, whenever she needs to unwind and relax, and she can't get into a book just quite yet after something's happened. It's her go-to. So we do have, the previous video did show her coloring some at Starbucks, so that was really cool.
The books I'm currently reading, I was looking for a good book on dealing with grief, of course, after, everything that's happened. And I picked up We Are Okay. I'm quite a ways into it. About a pretty short read, but I'm about 146 pages into it. And it's about a girl, Marin, who goes off to college, and it's just about her struggle with grief. And she's lost her grandpa. She was real close to. And I mean, I'll do a more in-depth review of this book. I don't want to go too far into it, but it does describe grief.
So as far as what you've been going through with your
Yeah.
mom, it seems to have helped with the grief aspect and what someone goes through when they're grieving and the grieving process.
Yeah.
Because I know there's, 4 stages of grief. There's denial. Oh my goodness. There's denial. There's anger. There's begging. And then bargaining. And then finally acceptance. And the grieving process, it can be in any order. And you can go back and forth to them. But sometimes if you continue through the grieving process after a while, sometimes it might be beneficial to see a professional to get some help with that. But the day that I guess God knew that Shannon needed something to help her get through the day yesterday and make her smile a little bit, because when she got her mother's ashes, right before her mom's ashes came, she got her first ARC in the mail.
Well, in the mail, yeah. And I didn't even know this was coming, but this is more or less, this book is a thriller, but this is more or less a thank you to Penguin Random House for sending this.
That was awesome.
I had no clue this was coming. I don't remember
you didn't request the book.
But
you did request some ARCs, but
I mean, it's possible. Like I said, the last 2 weeks have been a blur for me, but an advanced reader's copy of Lies You Never Told Me.
Thank you, Penguin Random House.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
This is actually the front of the ARC book. I've started reading it. I'm 40 pages in, and it's real good. Follows 4 people. I'm not that far in.
And the book comes out in May, right? So
it comes out in May of 2018.
So we're hoping she'll be able to give you a good review.
And I'll definitely, that's why I'm kind of, because it's a real short read, but I'll do a review of this. But again, thank you, Penguin Random House, for sending this to me. This may be, I'm trying to remember, because I know I didn't request. I mean, I've emailed
you request
publishers before, asking how to get ARCs, and they may have just,
e-ARCs. But this is your first physical copy, and I know that was.
Well, I have ARCs I obtained from the bookstore, like
you won, right?
And one I won at Barnes and Noble, but this is the first one I actually got mailed to me. So again, thank you, Penguin Random House.
It was so awesome.
This is not sponsored or paid promotion at all. It's just, a thank you to them for sending this to me. I'll definitely read this and review it.
Especially during such a difficult time.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was really awesome. And we do have some bookshelves we're going to put up. And we're going to finish putting up our bookshelves and get our books organized in a better fashion. So once we do that, then Shannon and I will do a bookshelf tour, hopefully. We'll get everything organized and situated.
We do. I mean, this month is still mental health / Irish literature. Melanie has gotten a lot of Irish literature books. I'm still planning on reading once I finish. I guess this one will count as my mental health read. And then I'm going to read Angela's Ashes for my Irish literature.
And we'll talk about all those Irish literature books suggestions in our next video. But we are so thankful for you in our lives and for the book community and BookTube.
And again, thank you, Penguin Random House. This was a nice surprise to receive in the mail. It did make the day a little bit more...
Not really bearable, but
it helped.
It helped a little.
And like I said, I had no idea this was coming, so this was a nice surprise to receive this in the mail from Penguin Random House. So thank you again.
And you guys are awesome. We really appreciate this community. Until next time, I'm Melanie.
I'm Shannon.
And we wish you
peace, love, books, and coffee.
Bye.
Bye.